Hey everyone, welcome back to Brick Vault. This is Mike and Top 10 MOCs. This week is gonna be heavy on micro builds because there were so many amazing micro builds this week, and the fan MOCs will be at the end of the episode. As always, if you want to submit another fan MOC for next week's episode, there's a link in the description below. Our web store also received a brand new MOC of Anakin and Obi-Wan's Jedi starfighters with hyperdrive rings. Designed by Caleb Riggs, who also designed many other awesome Star Wars models for our web store, these will most likely become a fan favorite, so check those out in the link in the description below. And now to the MOCs. Karf Oohlu Lite hits us with Blyght, the Everlasting Hunger, a small build to kick off, but how gruesome that one is. I'm not gonna even mention the giant pool of blood with just a piece of paper, I guess that's not Lego, but the creature itself can be something you don't wanna meet in a dark corridor. Not sure where the mouth is, but probably that big thing with the fangs in the middle, and in the back you have a really cool build of the spine, or rather tail, with just overlapping modified pieces. The neck using the joint pieces is quite clever, and the head is built using some mechanical pieces like the saw. I told you micro builds will dominate this week, and definitely this one caught my attention just because of its sheer weirdness and, well, horror factor. With number 9 we have Bousker with the recreation of the LEGO Agents Mission 5 set number 8634. Really cool use of the spider piece for the helicopter's claw, and that Avengers superhero positioning piece to blow up the fences present in the set. The landscaping is done particularly well with the great angle achieved, and I love how the rock formations interconnect with the canted and curved road. Micro building at its finest, if you will. Going up to number 8, we have another fantastic micro build from J.J. Bricks, the case of the missing cookies. Now I'm gonna pause here on this picture for a second because there's actually a story, a detective case in the picture you can actually solve and tell the designer who is the culprit and who is the police suspect. I didn't really have the time to crack the story, but I'm gonna comment some of the amazing piece usages in this model. The rubber bands for the clue board, the microphones for the drawer handles, the golden rings for the cabinet handles, the paint roller piece for the desk lamp, the little fangs for the stool downstairs, and that old robotic arm for another type of lamp in the other room. But again, the storytelling in this model is what made it claim a spot in this week's list. Number 7 is Sam J.J. with Mount Olympus. This MOC is using one of the best staircase builds in micro building I've seen to date, I guess. Those are just overlapping modified 1x1 pieces with that handle, and the way this creates that curved staircase is just absolutely brilliant. I've never seen that used before. Lightsaber hilts create the Parthenon temple at the very top of the mountain. Love the tiny brown fangs for the foliage all around, and a loosely placed white fangs and other bricks to create that cloudy effect at the bottom. Overall, just brilliant shaping and landscaping all together, and just clever use of gray pieces all around. Number 6 is Thaï fighter crash landing on Dagobah. So that was a challenge in that micro building contest, that was to recreate a Star Wars scene in somewhat of a real world history. There's gonna be a ton of honorable mentions about this category later on, but this is from Clockwork Bricks, and I don't know, it's just brilliant in photography, brick building overall, and storytelling as well. Yoda is replaced with an old sensei, Luke has a World War I's pilot instead of his X-Wing attire, the X-Wing is replaced by a biplane, and Yoda's hut looks like a classic Japanese house. The house has a great technique for the wall building, and the roof is pretty incredible as well. Love how the water is done and the thick foliage of Dagobah can be seen as well. And mind you, these scenes for most builders were built in a single day. So there is that extra point for that incredible cool factor. Number 5, we have Vakaisme with Gopher It. Now that is a MOC that captured my attention by its sheer cuteness. It is more like a semi-3D, almost 2D plus 3D model. The brick build lettering is quite clever, so that's a MOC in its own way. And I love how the Gopher is, I believe, using a piece from Duplo. I guess that stem of the flower is from Duplo. Let me know in the comments section. The oversized shovel works so well. He got a bit of that Mario attire right there. And the face is highly expressive, fully brick built, so there is nothing really stickered here or anything. All of what you see is actual Lego bricks. Vakaisme submitted this for the Lego Ideas Challenge for a chance to exhibit the creativity in the Lego house, so good luck with that. I think that is a creation worth considering. Dicken Liu at number 4 comes at us with the Source of Strength Cyberpunk City theme. There's plenty of awesome going about in this build. It's a big build. If you just look at the base, how many technique bricks and how many stats you can count, that is just a big MOC overall. I love how asymmetrical it is and how many little details you can spot with a lot of this technical aspect to it. There's some sort of a mech in the middle with a house on top of it, so that's kind of cool in its own way. The whole statue of somewhat of a god is there as the central point, so that is a MOC. If you will, a separate MOC that has been built with a great precision and just overall expertise. The building on the right has two incredible floors. I love the kind of merging of technique and the normal pieces throughout. You cannot really tell which one is which. And the higher building on the right kind of reminds me of the Ninjago City vibe a little bit, so maybe that was the inspiration. I love the color combination as well, with gold really working well with red and blacks, with some blue in there and some gray, so overall the composition is very pleasant to look at. Well done, and just a reminder to check out all the builders in the links below, because they have much more incredible Flickr galleries than I show you here in these videos. Number 3 is FAN MOC 001 with a MOC called Return of the King. No, that has nothing really to do with the Lord of the Rings. What's the most incredible about this MOC is not the quality of the castle build, but the fact that this is a Lazy Susan operated by a Lego engine. There's a crank on the side you can use manually, but it also rotates on its own like some kind of a music box. Engineering behind it in its own way makes this MOC a worthy contestant for this week's top 10, and just if you look at the build on top of that, there are things moving adjacently to the whole major rotation. The stone walls are built perfectly, there is so many details to be seen, scenes, there's some sort of a barbecue going on with some rats on it. Not gonna question that too much, but overall it's just a very cohesive scene with plenty to enjoy and appreciate, especially in the detail section and just overall techniques used. A MOC worthy of a Return of the King, so check it out in the links below if you wanna see more detailed pictures and the full video of its operation. Now number 2, that is Nannan Zhang with One Fell Swoop. I would say a bit of an artsy MOC in a way, but it's more like a 3D painting. I really like the use of the kind of roots at the bottom of this MOC, which represent the nest of the owl, and the 3D effect of these sticking outside of the canvas is just really well done. I just love how this all works, with sprinkles of foliage in green throughout to create a little bit more accent and contrast. The bird itself has tons of these pink surfboards, which is just fantastic, and the petals in tan create the chest of feathers, which is just looks so organic and yet so non-Lego-like. I'm not exactly sure what the dark blue feather piece is. I don't think I have sets with any of that piece. Is that from Ninjago or some other, maybe some Chima or maybe elves from the past? You let me know in the comment section where that dark blue piece of feathers was presented before. The giant owly eyes are quite recognizable, as the owls are known for their beautiful faces and giant eyes, of course. And this MOC overall has such a beautiful composition. You can feel even the wind thanks to those silver bendy pieces throughout the canvas that show the swoop of wings, creating some windy effect. So there is motion to it, there is art to it, there is color to it. It's just brilliant. I love this MOC in particular this week. And for number 1 we have a spaceship, a big spaceship. I love spaceships. When there's a good spaceship I'm gonna try to include it. Mansur Soeleman with HSY Vausi-class cruiser. Now this is not a giant spaceship like we had a few episodes back, but this one wins me over in terms of shaping and gribbling. Wonderful section at the top of the ship with these larger triangular Lego pieces. I have no idea how he achieved these angles, but they are very non-Lego-like. It looks almost like a die-cast model. Love the just overall angling here. I love the overall design. That's something that can be taken from Expanse maybe. There are some gaps in the hull that create extra cool effect. You can see some hangar bay, and the gribbling overall is maybe unnoticeable at first because it's mostly dark gray, but if you look closely the use of pieces is quite staggering. Especially the angle from the aft of the ship showing the engines, how the blend of technique and Lego bricks is working magnificent things for the gribbling. Love the use of the barrels for the lower engines. The picture from the top of the ship again shows the angling. You can see how many points of the ship have this little bit of a like 2-3 degree angling here. The corners are so crazily done. I don't even know how you achieve these angles with the techniques at hand. So overall, the proficiency of this MOC is through the roof, and I think, in my personal opinion, it deserves a #1 spot, just because I have no idea how it was actually put together. So well done for this ship. I would love to see it in person and inspect it a bit more to understand how it's built. Alright, and now for honorable mentions, there's gonna be a ton of micro builds here, but first we have Jordan Parmegiani with Lego Evee FFL T2 Giraffe Fire Ladder Truck, a classic looking MOC with maybe older bricks here and there. Big shout out to Michael Willhoit and the crew for building this giant MOC for the Brick Fair Virginia. Dad's Bricks with Art Series, the White Peacock, fantastic use of the white foliage elements. Lego 7 with Captain Quijote's Dream Voyage, I should have maybe placed that on the list actually, it's so cool. Sam J.J. again with the El Entrenamiento, the look, which is another take on Star Wars in modern world. Caleb Inman, there will be no escape for the dashes this time, again Star Wars in kind of modern era. Jaifa with Draconis Bombus, incredible creature. Geneva D with the parting shot, another use of that red cauldron piece from the previous challenge. Marco de Bon with Lego Microsuit Mark V, cute little build. Lucas Firestone with Lego Spook Slot, a wonderful use of light there to create that ominous tower. Leo 1 with Shrek's hoverbike, really cool angling, a really cool brick build Shrek. Rebelmaker with the Blacktron Orca, another in his series of Blacktron starships. Sir Darian with It's a Trap, another of Star Wars in real life things. Brick Dreamer with High Ground, yeah, you can guess that one as well. Carter Witt with Old Fishing Store. Brick Bites with Horizon Tallneck in micro scale, I maybe should have put that on the list as well. Bousker again with another great micro build ode to Scooby-Doo, Zoinks! And Joe J&J Bricks yet again with this shark pit, but instead of Sarlacc we have sharks, and instead of Chewie we have Hagrid. And if you wanna see even more crazy awesome MOCs, especially micro builds this week, I highly recommend checking all the links below for these beautiful builders galleries. Fan MOCs are on screen right now, please enjoy, and if you wanna submit a fan MOC for next week, there is always a link below. As always, thank you so much for watching, it was Mike, and I'll see you next time on BrickVault.